Yes, sir. So we back, bruh. I'm back on my pre-stuff, you feel me? Back on my pre-stuff. It's gonna be the first video of COG Heavenly Messages, you feel me? So for the first, you know what I'm saying, part one, we're gonna be talking about hardened hearts, and you feel me? Let's get straight into it. So first, I'm gonna pop in this little article piece of this guy talking about hardened hearts and giving like characteristics and stuff like that, you feel me? So going on, read it, pause, whatever you gotta do. Hey, cool. So I wanna talk about hardened hearts, and I wanna do like Jesus spoke in parables, right? So I'm gonna try to put it into like two parables, right? So you got the first one, which is gonna talk about a door. Second one is gonna talk about a mirror. Alright? So let's get into the door. Let's get into the door. So the parable is, I'm saying, there's a guy sitting in his room, right? There's a guy sitting in his room. It's somebody outside that's trying to get his attention, you feel me? So he at the door. The guy, he got the door locked, you know what I'm saying, shut. You know what I'm saying? So he knocking at the door. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get your attention, bro. Like, what's with it? And then the other guy, he in his room, but like he playing music, right? He playing music. And then the guy knocking. But the guy gets so distracted by the music, and he gets so caught up into the music, so where he starts jamming, so he cut it up even more. He start blasting the music to where he can't even hear the knock no more. He can't hear the knock. You feel me? So that's the first, you know what I'm saying, little parable, I guess I'll say, I'm gonna talk about, because to put it into terms, that's like you're sitting in the room, right? God's always knocking at the door. But the more you harden your heart, the less you gonna hear the knock. The louder everything else is gonna get. And then the quieter that knock gonna be. Boom! Number two. The second parable, the mirror. So it's this guy, right? And he's like, it's just like pure guy. This pure guy. And he's a very, you know what I'm saying, like good dude. So he loves looking at himself in the mirror and reflecting on himself and being like, man, I'm doing great, you feel me, type stuff. But one day he goes out and he starts to do stuff that's not of his character, not of his characteristics, not like who he is. And then he does that more and more and more. And as he's doing it, every time he does it, the mirror gets more and more and more dirty. So it gets to the point where it's so bad, he goes to the mirror, and the mirror is so dirty from him leaving himself so much that he can't even see himself in the mirror no more. Like, he lost his old self in the mirror because he out there wilding, you feel me? And that all ties back into God. Cause look how I'm gonna do this. You standing, you looking in the mirror. Boom. But you see God in the mirror, right? You see God in the mirror. And the more you shun God, the more you push him away, the more you say, I'm gonna do me. I don't need none of that. The less you'll see, because the mirror's gonna get more and more dirty to the point where you can't even see God no more. And he right in front of your face, but you can't see him due to your own blindness. You feel me? Like, boom. So next, you might be having a thought like, how does a heart like become hardened? Like, what even is that? Like, how does that happen? You feel me? Like, what you talking about, bro? Like, you feel me? So first, I want to bring into, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna get into script. Obviously, I'm gonna get into script right here. First, I want to talk about Matthew 13:14 through 16. All right, so boom. Basically, it talks about what Jesus is talking about. He's talking about these guys that their hearts got hardened, and he mentions, you hear, but you don't understand. You see, but you cannot like perceive. You feel me? So you it's there, but it's not there. You feel me? I know that don't really answer it, but Jesus is talking about hardened hearts right there, so I just threw that in. So boom, let me get into the script that really answers how does a heart become hardened, right? And the first one I'm going to get into is John 10:25-30. Jesus is talking, right? And he says, "You do not believe because you are not my sheep. You're not of me. That's why you don't believe." You feel me? All right, so boom. Let me get into the script. I really think just like hits it on the dot, you know what I'm saying? John 8:43-45. Really hits it on the dot in my opinion. Because it's Jesus talking to these guys, right? And he says, "You belong to the devil. That's why you don't understand. You don't hear me." You know what I'm saying? You hear me, but you don't hear me type stuff. You know what I'm saying? He says, "Whoever belongs to God hears God." The reason you don't hear is because you don't belong to God. The thing with the hardened heart and all of that, the more to really simplify it, the more you push away God, the more you shun God, the more you live in the world, do things of the world, set your heart in the world and build it on worldly things, the less you gonna feel God, the less you gonna hear God, the less you gonna see God. But when you put your heart in the script, in the word, on God and Jesus, you start to see God in everything. You start to feel God, feel His presence. You know what I'm saying? Things that happen, and you'll be like, man, that ain't nothing but God. You know what I'm saying? Because you there with Him. Your heart is in God. You feel me? That's really what it is, to be simple. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, just don't set your heart on and in worldly things. It ultimately leads to nowhere, leads to death. Really, that's what it leads to. Sin leads to death. But Jesus paid that sacrifice for us. So if you don't know Jesus, if you don't know God, I would ask you to crack open the Bible, read the Gospels. You know what I'm saying? And then see for yourself what's there. See for yourself. Don't just take my word for it. You feel me? Go see for yourself and see what Jesus, what God, what His word is really talking about. And I'm gonna leave y'all with that, man. Boom, man. I love all y'all, bro. This part 1 of the COG Heavenly Messages. You feel me? I'm trying to get a little intro together or something like that. I'm trying to make a little intro. Make this lit, because you know what I'm saying? It's long term. It's long term. It's long term, so. It's part 1. I'll catch y'all on the next one, man.